it's a part of the heritage of this country that we should try as much as we can to retain all these very old properties for future generations. It's just got a warm friendliness about it, and it sort of grows on you. I think about the people that have lived here over the centuries and what they could say if they were around. If we had, walls had ears, we could all say what they saw and felt being in here. No, it's just sort of... No, I don't feel I'm back in those times, but I like to preserve all that was here then.
Traditionally, people have been quite opposed to change. It's because you do get connected to these buildings, and we like to make sure it's, I suppose, as you would present your home to visitors, this is us presenting our home to visitors. In terms of the actual building itself, I love going up into the attics. There's somewhere that visitors don't get to go and see because it's up a very steep and narrow ladder. But when you get up there, it's absolutely fantastic. So it's all completely opened out, and you can see the individual beams and the original beams of the roof really. And you can also see the wattle door, which is slightly coming away up in the gables. But in terms of the objects, I think my favourite things are the clocks, probably. The fact that they've survived 300 years and are still working at actually very good time, that's quite amazing to me.
How do you feel about some of the modern developments in West Phill?
Some of them are good. I've got the same problems as everyone else. I need to park my car and I need to drive around and everything. But it's when it replaces something that is irreplaceable. So, you're knocking down some beautiful old buildings, or even not that beautiful old buildings, but they're going to be gone forever. If you're taking virgin land almost and redeveloping some waste sites, then fair enough, that's absolutely great.
It's really important because a lot of people, I know there'd be a lot of regret if things like this disappeared. And there has been a lot of regret when it's failed to keep things, or when things have been demolished and decades later someone thought it's such a shame that it's been taken away and that the future people can never visit these kind of things. I think, to me, history is a very important thing, and visiting places like this and learning about how people lived is really important.
Do you have a particular favourite part of the house or a particular object in the house that...
The library.
The library.
I like being in the library.
A lot of people have said that actually. What do you think is it about the library that's...
I don't know, it's a warm, homely room, and you can tell so much about a person by the books they've left behind.
Elsie, who made it possible for the house to be saved, and her brother Mackley, she collected all these doorstops, and they look a bit like gnomes, but there's something sort of interesting about the fact that she felt she wanted to collect something like childlike, but it adds to the character of the house, I think, by having something that she liked here.
Every piece of history that we have is always told through a certain object or a certain item. So how do we know what the ancient Egyptians did? Because they're preserved, medical equipment and things like that. So we can chart human history through all the individual, not necessarily important pieces. So I think in preserving what we have now, we'll be able to then in the future look back and say, oh okay, they then used this to do this. And actually you find that human behaviour hasn't changed that much. They always need somewhere to sleep, eat and be looked after, and you find the objects that reflect that.
Basically all the property developers are interested in is the value of the site and what they can sell it for. And they need buildings like this need somebody to protect them, because once they're gone, and that's it. There'll never be anything like this again.
It is one of the oldest houses in the city, and consequently, as Janice said, it has 500 years of history. So not just are you able to look at who lived here, but you can get an insight into how they lived, what Worcester was like 500, 400, 300, 200 years ago.
It's not until you go aboard you realise how very, very lucky we are in this country. We have so many beautiful things, old things that we take for granted, and I think everything in this country is worth preserving.